So I really don't like to talk about this. And not because it was like super traumatic, but there was some trauma to it. And that's mostly because every single time I tell this story, people seem to think I'm just exaggerating. I'm not. I wish I was. I am no longer legally allowed inside of an IKEA. A lifetime ban, apparently. Which is funny because technically I left voluntarily. Eventually, anyways. Now, before you go off and ask me, what the hell did you do, Arafina? Well, technically nothing. I really didn't do anything at all. And that is what makes this whole story extremely frustrating, because all I needed was a bookshelf. That's it. A bookshelf. That's what is so frustrating about this story, because all I needed was a single bookshelf. Just a bookshelf. That's it. I wasn't planning on buying any like fake plants or candles. I wasn't planning on buying a dining table that sounds like it was named after an Icelandic skin condition. I wanted a bookshelf. That is all. And that was my first mistake. You walk into an IKEA and something immediate. It feels off. Like, to me, at least. Not in a bad way, okay? But just very European. Like, everything smells like cinnamon, plywood, and divorce. You grab one of those giant yellow bags, because apparently bookshelves require emotional support now. And then you see the arrows, the fucking arrows. If you've ever been to an IKEA, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't decide where you go. The arrows do it for you. It's not a route. It's a pilgrimage. And there is no good at the end of it. Just more pillows. I just wanted shelving. I look at all these sets and I think, like, who designed this? Like, I get curious, you know? I hope you do. Doesn't fucking matter, really. But I do get curious. Like, who takes this microscopic kitchen set and thinks, yes, this is where the heart is? I'm 2 minutes into the store and I'm already feeling emotionally invested in the fictional marriage of two mannequins that probably haven't spoken in years. And I think to myself, you know what? I'm smarter than these arrows. I'm going to take a shortcut. Huge mistake. I turn one corner and suddenly I'm in children's furniture. I don't even have children. So I go up to an employee and I ask, where are the bookshelves? He smiles and points. Doesn't say a word. I walk in the direction that he pointed to. 5 minutes later, I am somehow back in that same living room. The same fake television. The same fake plant. Same fake happiness. I looked at the employee. He was still pointing. I don't think that motherfucker moved an inch. I don't think he even blinked. I just kept walking. What else could I do? At this point, I'm thinking, okay, wow, that is weird, but it's not too weird. Like, it's not setting off, like terrible red flags or anything. And then I noticed something. There is an old couple arguing over curtains, which is normal. 10 minutes later, same couple, same curtains, same argument, word for word. After 15 minutes, there they are again. But the man looked a little bit older. More like he had aged significantly since the last time I saw him. His eyes carried a certain quality, as if he had accepted something that I had yet to understand or accept. I couldn't explain it, so I just kept moving. By now, I have basically forgotten about the bookshelf. I'm just looking for an exit. Simple enough, right? Those red signs that just big, bold letters, exit on the sign. Follow the next sign. I'm back in the kitchens again. Though these kitchens were a little bit different. Same old feeling of mild despair, though. And that's when I found him. A guy that was completely alone. He had these incredibly bloodshot eyes. He was holding a basket that had a teaspoon in it, and seemingly whatever optimism had been drained out of him was in that basket. I asked this motherfucker, how long have you been here? He looked at me, But his look, it was like he was looking through me, or more like he was seeing something behind me. But I refused to turn around and take a look. And all he said was, "I came for a lamp." He walked away without answering my question. I never saw him again. The teaspoon was gone as well. At the moment, I'm like, what does this mean? I have no clue. My cat wanted to say hi. Hours passed after that. For all I know, it could have been days. I don't know if this is just the IKEA that I went to, but I did not see a single fucking clock in that building. I don't know if this is normal. It's the only one I've ever been to. So, yeah, it almost felt deliberate. Though, why would a furniture store, something that sells things it's designed to go in the home, right? And a clock is among those objects. So why would they remove every reference to the passage of time? I mean, think about it. I've had a lot of time to think about it, ironically. I eventually found the restaurant, food, relief, civilization, and I ordered the meatballs. Big mistake, because I didn't want to stop eating them. They were really delicious. Almost suspiciously delicious. Grotesquely delicious. No furniture store should be able to make a meatball that damn good. Yeah, I started to ask questions. The staff smiled and refilled my lingonberry sauce, but they did not answer my questions, or at least they did not seem to appreciate those questions. And I woke up, still inside of IKEA. The store was now closed, the employees were all gone, and the lights seemed to be dimmed into something almost ominous. Ominously ambient. But there were still customers, but they were just wandering around. They didn't look particularly concerned or in a panic. Just people walking around slowly through fake living rooms in the dark. A woman walked past me carrying a floor lamp. I had seen her 6 hours earlier carrying the exact same lamp. She smiled at me, though her eyes weren't participating in that smile. That's when I met Gary. Gary, according to Gary, had been there for a while. I asked him how long a while was. He just said long enough to stop asking. Gary had constructed a shelter out of flat pack boxes in the bedroom display area. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. He had some good lighting set up over there. It was minimalist, but functional. Very Scandinavian, which felt appropriate. We formed a society. Gary hunted, and I organized. I became assistant regional Ottoman inspector. It wasn't a real title until the 3rd week. And at that point, it was the only title that mattered. We established a set of laws. Rule 1, never question the arrows. Rule 2, never whistle after the lighting department closes down. Rule 3, never, ever, under any circumstance, go into bedding after dark. Kevin went into bedding after dark. We don't talk about Kevin. We also don't talk about what we found when we went looking for Kevin. What I will say, though, is that what we found was not Kevin. Eventually, we did find a map, which felt like a spark of hope. Like, finally, we have a map. Except the map was just another route through the showroom. It wasn't a map. It was propaganda. Very cleverly designed propaganda. Attractive font. Good color scheme. Classic IKEA. Time passed. Well, probably. I celebrated Christmas 3 times in there just to keep my mind sane. None of them were in December. Gary cried on the 3rd one. I didn't ask why. Some things just aren't worth asking. One morning, all of the pencils had seemingly been replaced. Fresh, perfectly sharpened, every single pencil. Nobody saw who did it. Gary just told me they must have come when we were sleeping. I stopped sleeping after that. It did not help. The pencils kept getting replaced. I did, as you can tell, escape eventually, or they released me. I walked through those automatic doors. Birds, sunlight, the smell of something that wasn't plywood, cinnamon, or existential dread. I stood there for a moment, just breathing. A woman walked past me with a shopping bag, and I was this close to just grabbing her and saying, "Go back. Tell them what you saw. Make them listen." But I didn't, because nobody listens. That's the whole lesson. A few weeks later, a letter arrived from IKEA. I opened it. Due to repeated violations of store policy, you are prohibited from visiting any IKEA location worldwide. Granted, there's a bunch of like other jargon, legal crap in here, but that's the gist of it. I just thought it was really interesting how they put worldwide in that letter. Like as if I was going to go to the headquarters in Sweden itself. And then the part that says repeated violations. What violations? I organized a functional society in a store's abandoned fucking showroom. I maintained the ottomans. I kept those pencils sharp. Like, you tell me, is that a violation? It sounds like stewardship to me. So I tried to appeal it. I lost. Apparently, organizing a self-governing civilization in the bedroom displays part of a fucking store it violates company policy. Like in that letter, one of the things it notes is unauthorized habitation in the displays. Section 4, paragraph 2, unauthorized habitation of display areas. Unauthorized. As if the authorization was ever fucking offered. Like I could have just asked, "Excuse me, can I build a society here?" "Oh, of course. Here's a pencil." So yeah, I am banned for life from IKEA. Do I regret it? No. Because I got the bookshelf. I just can't remember where I put it. Oh, fuck. Actually, I think Gary has it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Gary has it.